True love that knows no sacrifices. Setting the stage, in the lush, vibrant village of Belle-Riviere, nestled in the heart of Haiti, life flowed with a rhythm as ancient as the mountains that surrounded it. The villagers, known for their close-knit community and rich traditions, lived simple yet colorful lives. They celebrated their heritage through music, dance, and storytelling. Their days filled with the sounds of laughter and the scents of tropical flowers. Among them was a young woman named Amara, known for her beauty and her many romantic entanglements. Her long, flowing hair and enchanting eyes made her the object of many men's desires. Yet, her free spirit and unabashed nature led her to be scorned by the more conservative villagers. Amara had a reputation that preceded her. She had relationships with almost every eligible man in the village, a fact that the women of Belle-Riviere gossiped about incessantly. Despite the whispers and the judgmental looks, Amara remained unapologetic. She believed in living life to the fullest and had yet to meet a man who could truly capture her heart. Her nights were filled with passion, her days with the heady freedom of youth. Many saw her as a scandalous figure, a symbol of moral decay. But beneath her bold exterior, Amara was a woman of deep emotions, craving genuine connection and understanding. Her relationships, fleeting and superficial, never satisfied her yearning for true love. She was like a butterfly flitting from flower to flower, beautiful yet elusive, admired yet misunderstood. The arrival of Dr. Alexander. One day, a young, handsome doctor named Alexander moved to Belle-Riviere. He had come from the city, seeking peace and a slower pace of life. Dr. Alexander was immediately taken by the village's charm and the warmth of its people. His tall frame, kind eyes, and gentle demeanor quickly won the trust of the villagers. He set up a small clinic and began tending to the community's health needs. Alexander had left behind a promising career in the bustling capital to find meaning and fulfillment in serving a community that needed him. His arrival was met with curiosity and hope. The villagers were grateful for his expertise and dedication, and he quickly became a beloved figure in Belle-Riviere. The unlikely romance. It wasn't long before Alexander met Amara. She came to his clinic with a minor ailment, a small cut on her hand from a gardening accident. As he cleaned and bandaged the wound, Alexander was struck by her beauty and confidence. Unlike the other villagers, he saw beyond Amara's reputation. He saw a spirited woman with a zest for life and a kind heart. Her laughter was infectious, her presence captivating. "Thank you, Dr. Alexander," she said with a warm smile, her eyes sparkling. "Please, call me Alexander," he replied, feeling an unexpected warmth in his heart. Their paths began to cross more frequently. Amara found reasons to visit the clinic, and Alexander, drawn to her vibrant spirit, looked forward to their encounters. They began to spend time together outside of the clinic, exploring the lush landscapes of Belle-Riviere, sharing stories and discovering a connection that neither had anticipated. Despite the villagers' warnings and ridicule, Alexander found himself falling for her. Amara, in turn, was intrigued by Alexander. He treated her with respect and kindness, something she hadn't experienced from the men in the village. Their bond grew, and soon they were spending more and more time together. The villagers watched with a mix of curiosity and disapproval as their unlikely romance blossomed. The village's disapproval reached its peak when the relationship between Amara and Alexander became public knowledge. The women especially were harsh, warning Alexander that Amara would break his heart. They whispered behind his back, their words like venomous snakes. The men, too, mocked him, unable to understand how someone like him could fall for Amara. They saw him as a fool, blinded by lust and naivety. Despite the ridicule, Alexander stood firm. He knew what he felt for Amara was real and deep. He saw the loneliness in her eyes, the longing for acceptance and love. He admired her strength, her refusal to be cowed by societal judgment. Alexander believed in her, in the person she truly was, not the image the villagers had painted. The night of the kidnapping, one fateful night, the tranquility of Belle Riviere was shattered. A notorious gang from a neighboring town, known for their ruthlessness, kidnapped Dr. Alexander. They saw him as a valuable asset and demanded a hefty ransom. The village was thrown into chaos and fear. The gang struck just after sunset. They stormed Alexander's clinic, overpowering him and dragging him away. The villagers, shocked and terrified, gathered outside the clinic, helpless to stop the abduction. The air was thick with tension and fear, the once peaceful village now a scene of panic and despair. Amara was devastated. She realized in that moment just how much Alexander meant to her. The thought of losing him filled her with a determination she had never felt before. She knew she had to rescue him, no matter the cost. The village leaders convened an emergency meeting to decide on a course of action, but Amara knew that time was of the essence. Amara's bold rescue. Amara set out to rescue Alexander, despite the villagers' doubts and warnings. She used her charm and wit to gather information about the gang's hideout. With the help of a few loyal friends who believed in her, she devised a daring plan to infiltrate the gang's lair. She approached the task with a single-minded determination. She gathered supplies, planned their route, and rallied her friends. Each step was fraught with danger, but Amara's resolve never wavered. She was driven by a fierce love, a love that transcended fear and doubt. On a moonlit night, Amara and her small band of friends approached the gang's hideout. The journey was perilous, taking them through dense forests and treacherous paths. The air was filled with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, adding to the tension. Using her knowledge of the area and her quick thinking, Amara managed to outsmart the guards and reach Alexander. The reunion was tearful and filled with relief, but the danger was far from over. The escape. Amara and Alexander had to make a quick and silent escape. With the gang's attention diverted by a clever distraction set up by Amara's friends, they slipped out into the night. The journey back to Belle Riviere was fraught with tension, but their love and determination saw them through. The escape was a harrowing ordeal. They moved swiftly and silently, avoiding detection by the gang's patrols. Alexander, weak and injured, relied on Amara's strength and courage. She supported him, encouraged him, and never let him falter. Their bond, tested by fire, grew stronger with each step. The return to Belle Riviere. When Amara and Alexander returned to the village, they were met with astonishment. The villagers, who had doubted Amara's capability and sincerity, were now faced with undeniable proof of her bravery and love. The rescue not only saved Alexander but also transformed the way the villagers saw Amara. The village elders, initially skeptical, now saw Amara in a new light. They recognized her bravery, her determination, and her deep love for Alexander. The villagers, too, began to see beyond their prejudices and misconceptions. They realized that love, true love, could not be measured by societal norms or expectations. A changed perspective. The village of Belle Riviere slowly began to change its attitude towards Amara. Her actions showed them a side of her they had never seen, a woman capable of deep love and immense bravery. Amara and Alexander's love story became a tale of redemption and true love, teaching the villagers to look beyond rumors and appearances. The transformation was gradual but profound. Amara, once a figure of scandal, became a symbol of courage and love. She continued to live her life with the same free spirit, but now she was also respected and admired. The villagers, having learned a valuable lesson, began to accept their relationship and respect Amara for who she truly was. Commissioner Muscadin. The story took a new turn when Commissioner Muscadin, a seasoned law enforcement officer, arrived in Belle Riviere. He was renowned for his tenacity and dedication to justice. Hearing about the recent kidnapping and the gang's influence in the region, Muscadin decided it was time to dismantle the criminal network once and for all. Their leader name is Hot Sauce. Muscadin's presence was a beacon of hope for the villagers. They had lived in fear of the gang for too long, and his arrival signaled a possible end to their tyranny. The commissioner immediately began gathering information and planning his strategy. He reached out to Amara, recognizing her courage and resourcefulness in rescuing Alexander. Planning the operation, Amara and Commissioner Muscadin formed an unlikely but powerful alliance. Together, they worked tirelessly to map out the gang's operations, identify key members, and plan a decisive strike. Amara's intimate knowledge of the local terrain and the gang's hideout proved invaluable. She guided Muscadin through the labyrinthine forest paths and shared critical insights about the gang's routines and defenses. The villagers, inspired by Amara's bravery and Muscadin's leadership, began to rally behind them. They provided intelligence, resources, and manpower to support the mission. The atmosphere in Bel Riviere shifted from fear to determination as everyone united for the common goal of eradicating the gang. The daring grade. On the night of the raid, Bel Riviere held its collective breath. The operation was meticulously planned, with Muscadin's team and the villagers working in unison. Amara led a small group through the forest, while Muscadin and his officers approached from the opposite direction, intending to catch the gang in a pincer movement. The hideout was surrounded. At Muscadin's signal, they moved in swiftly and silently. The gang, caught off guard, scrambled to defend themselves but were overwhelmed by the coordinated assault. Amara's group provided crucial support, using their intimate knowledge of the area to outmaneuver the gang members. The battle was fierce but brief. Muscadin's experience and the villagers' resolve proved too much for the gang. Key members were captured, and those who resisted were swiftly dealt with, including the gang's leader Hot Sauce. The hideout, once a symbol of fear, was now under the control of law and justice. Bel Riviere rejoices. The successful raid marked a turning point for Bel Riviere. The villagers, once paralyzed by fear, now celebrated their newfound freedom. The community gathered in the village square, their faces alight with joy and relief. Muscadin, Amara, and Alexander stood at the center of the celebration, symbols of bravery and resilience. Amara, who had once been an outcast, was now a hero. Her actions had not only saved Alexander but had also liberated the entire village. The villagers, who had once judged her harshly, now embraced her with gratitude and admiration. A new beginning. With gang dismantled and peace restored, Bel Riviere began to rebuild. Alexander continued his work at the clinic, with Amara by his side. They became a cornerstone of the community, their love and dedication inspiring everyone around them. Commissioner Muscadin, having completed his mission, bid farewell to the village, leaving behind a legacy of justice and hope. The happy ending. Amara and Alexander's bond grew stronger after the harrowing experience. They decided to stay in Bel Riviere, where Alexander continued his work as a doctor. And Amara began to help him, using her natural empathy and charm to assist patients. The villagers, having learned a valuable lesson, began to accept their relationship and respect Amara for who she truly was. Their love story, once a source of ridicule, became a beacon of hope and inspiration in Bel Riviere. It taught the villagers that true love knows no sacrifices and that the heart sees beyond what the eyes can. In the end, Amara and Alexander lived a life filled with love, respect, and mutual support, proving that love, when true, transcends all barriers and transforms lives. The villagers, inspired by their story, began to embrace a more open and accepting mindset, valuing individuals for their true selves rather than their pasts. Years passed, and Amara and Alexander's love continued to thrive. They became integral members of the Balrivire community, their home a haven of warmth and hospitality. They welcomed everyone with open arms, regardless of their pasts or reputations. Their love story, retold countless times, became a cherished legend in the village. Amara's beauty, once seen as a source of scandal, was now a symbol of her inner strength and resilience. Alexander's dedication to his work and his unwavering support for Amara earned him the respect and admiration of all. Together, they showed that love, true love, is a force that can overcome any obstacle, heal any wound, and bridge any divide. In Balrivire, the legacy of Amara and Alexander's love endured, reminding everyone that true love knows no sacrifices. It is a love that accepts, forgives, and ultimately transforms, leaving a lasting impact on all who witness it.